Good morning from Pulau Pinang, Malaysia. It is time for breakfast. Today, I'm bringing you to a real local gem, Kedai Kopi New Cathay, or新國泰茶室, as Penang locals call it in Chinese. It's tucked away just off Burma Road in Pulau Tikus. It's not one of those super hyped up tourist traps, but it's a firm favourite with Penang locals. New Cathay Coffee Shop is about 26 minutes by bus from Urban H Hotel, where I stayed. Kedai Kopi New Cathay is a classic kopitiam, a traditional coffee shop. You'll see it starts getting busy early around 7:30 a.m, and by 10 a.m. until 2 p.m, it's packed. You can see all kinds of people here, locals catching up, families having breakfast, and even some tourists who have discovered this hidden gem. It's a bit old school. Most of the stalls are run by older folks, which means they've been doing this for decades, serving up authentic Penang hawker fare. This morning, I am here for one thing in particular, their famous Curry Mee. This stall has been featured in some food guides and even on TV here, so it's quite well known locally. Now, Penang Curry Mee is a must-try when you're here in Georgetown. It's a spicy, flavorful noodle soup that's completely different from what you might find elsewhere. It's a mix of yellow noodles and thin rice vermicelli, bihun, swimming in a vibrant orangey-red curry broth. What makes this Curry Mee special is the broth. The owner told me that they use a mix of evaporated milk and coconut milk, so it's rich but not overly heavy. The noodles are a mix of yellow noodles and thin rice vermicelli, which soak up all that wonderful broth. The toppings is where it gets interesting. Pig's blood curd. You might find this a little unusual, but it's a local delicacy. It has a smooth, almost jelly-like texture and a slightly metallic taste, which adds a unique depth to the curry. You won't find this in Singaporean Curry Mee anymore, so it's a real Penang experience. The cuttlefish is stir-fried before being added to the curry, giving it a slightly chewy texture and a smoky, savoury sweet flavour. It contrasts nicely with the softer ingredients. Not many stalls do this. It's a bit of a specialty here, similar to the Air E Tham Sisters Curry Mee. Tofu puffs, tau pok. These are like little sponges that soak up the flavourful broth. They have a mild beanie taste on their own, but they become little pockets of curry goodness. They add a nice airy and chewy texture. The fish cake slices add a subtle sweetness and a pleasant chewiness. They're mild enough not to overpower the curry, but they complement the other flavours nicely. Long beans. These add a fresh, crunchy element and a bit of sweetness, balancing the richness of the curry. The roasted pork belly, su yuk, is my personal add-ons. Roast pork are not always available in Penang Curry Mee, but absolutely delicious if the stall has it. The crispy skin and tender meat add an extra layer of richness and texture. The rendered fat also infuses into the broth, making it even more flavourful. So, as you can see, this Curry Mee is a real explosion of flavours and textures. It's a true Penang experience, and I'm sure you'll love it. I paid a total of 11 ringgit for my Curry Mee, including the roast pork. If you're looking for authentic, old-school Penang flavours, New Cathay Coffee Shop is the place to be.